Yes, yes, Howie Roseman is at it and still going at it. The Eagles have signed an edge rusher, a name that's been floating around. The Eagles have extended a contract, saved some money in the process, and we have a little bit of a sample of news. Nothing promising, but something to kind of keep our eye on when it comes to the safety position moving forward. So we have a lot to talk about here, so let's get straight into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. This video is sponsored by BetUS, so definitely go check them out if you guys have not. Guys, when you think that the Eagles are just dead in the water, nothing's going on, something is always happening behind the scenes with Howie Roseman, okay? Now, remember a week ago, a few days ago, whatever it was, the Eagles went out and signed Joshua Uche, okay, a pass rusher that obviously has a low risk, high reward ceiling, going into a camp now in an off-season program where these guys are going to be able to compete with this one team the entire offseason, and hopefully things are going to start to pay off when it comes to this pass rush. Okay, and he's just an example of one player that we did get that I have very high praise for. The Eagles have just signed, and this is from the other day, okay? Azeez Ojulari has been signed to the Philadelphia Eagles on a 1-year, $4 million deal, okay? 24 years old, another player that's coming in that's going to bet on himself. You know, the Eagles have been signing 24, 26, 27-year-olds, guys that haven't really, that have been down because of injury or, not playing enough or really haven't had an opportunity. Now will get their opportunity in Philadelphia. Okay, was with the New York Giants. Now, the New York Giants actually tried to retain Ojulari, and I think Ojulari himself went into this free agency thinking that he was going to get somewhat of a mid-tier payday, and obviously that didn't happen. Okay, now Ojulari has only had one healthy season. That's the downside to this whole signing. Okay, there's a reason why this is a late signing. 116 plus game season, okay? But in 46 games, okay, he has accumulated 22 sacks, 37 QB hits, which is absolutely insane, okay? 85th in total pressures last year, okay, with 22, but had 202 pass rush snaps. Okay. He's played over 50% of the snaps, which he's used to a lot of playing time. Okay. You're not getting a guy in a heavy rotation or anything like that. He's had a significant amount of snaps with the New York Giants, and this just makes everything even crazier now because now you're really betting on another player that's going to bet on himself that there is a high ceiling with Ojulari. This is the type of money for a 1-year, $4 million deal that would have made sense for Bryce Huff. Okay. This is a nice price. And I think a lot of these players are going to be better than him. Now with Josh Uche, okay, and Azeez Ojulari in that second rotation behind Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt, and then you're going to have Patrick Johnson and Bryce Huff. There is going to be some serious competition going into camp. Very serious competition. Okay. Um, at this point, guys, I feel like I don't know what direction they're going to be going in when it comes to the draft or anything like that, but they can only get better and add to this if they really want to. Okay. They couldn't go out and spend 30 plus $1 million, 27 plus $1 million on an edge rusher because obviously the price was really above the pay grade of what they really wanted to do. Hence why they didn't bring a couple of these guys back. Okay. But this is only going to get better by the day, by the hour, by the minute. And once you get into this training camp program, these guys are going to have a lot of time right now under Vic Fangio. And I'm telling you right now, somebody is going to explode this season. And Joshua Uche and now Azeez Ojulari, I think both of these guys are going to make some noise. a lot of noise. Like I said, they're working for another contract. Might not with the Philadelphia Eagles, and who knows? Maybe the Eagles do re-sign one of these guys after this season, which it's already hard to say that at this point because the Eagles are already trying to get contracts ready for a lot of guys of the future 2 to 3 years down the road. Okay. And I thought this was another interesting one in Ojulari. What school did he come from? He's a Georgia Bulldog, and he's one of the new 7 members to this defense now from the 2020 Georgia Bulldog defense. Shout out to Anthony DeBona for that news. Now with Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Ojulari, like we said, Nolan Smith, Nakobe Dean, Keely Ringo, and Lewis Sign. Okay, which is insane, which is awesome. I saw tweets from Nolan Smith that he's really excited about him coming in and just making the offseason much better for him. And he's pumped up to have Ojulari join the squad. He has seen this team from afar, and obviously this is a guy that just needs to stay healthy, period. Yes, he stays healthy. He is a bargain. Just like Josh Uchi, a bargain. In the second rotation, if they end up having a good camp, they go into that regular season and they start to, I'm telling you, at these low costs from obviously either not being healthy, not playing as much, not being as productive, but showing a lot of flash. They're going to have an entire offseason with the Philadelphia Eagles to really showcase what they can really do. And like I said, don't mean to, say this over and over again, but they are working for themselves for another contract. And I got to say, this was a name that was rumored the last few days that was out there that the Eagles had some interest. There were some rumblings about it, but I didn't know how serious it really was that they were going to add another pass rusher. Okay. Now, do they even go after edge rusher in the draft anymore? It seems like now that this move may have strayed them away. Maybe Bryce Huff, they're not going to get rid of that contract, but it's only going to add more competition to the room. And Fangio doesn't play favorites. You earn your snaps. And let me tell you, from the tape that you've seen from Ojulari, he's got power. He's got great bend. He's dominant. And he's got everything. He's got everything that he wants right in front of him. He's just got to stay healthy and just play his game. And good things are going to happen, man. Good things are going to happen. And I didn't mention this. He's coming off of a 6-sack season last year. I don't even think he played a full season last year. I don't know if it was last year or the year before that, but like I said, it's really just been health at the end of the day. So we're praying that guys like this stay healthy because I'm telling you right now, the Eagles are going to be rewarded very nicely if a couple of these guys at these low-cost type guys that have a lot of ceiling show up for the Philadelphia Eagles, especially playing for a Super Bowl team, a team coming off a Super Bowl. Where else would you want to be to get a new contract to a team coming off a Super Bowl and seeing what's on this defense around them? Come on now. This is insane. I want to see what Ojulari could do with Jalen Carter next to him or, Josh Uchi or something like that, in the rotation. And damage is going to get done, not to us, to other teams from these guys that are going to wreak havoc. So I'm pumped up. I'm so excited about this. And I think Eagle fans need to say that, these are risks, okay? These are big risks, but they're risks that could turn to big success stories, okay? And the Eagles have already had a few success stories already, a couple of them last year, and they could have more going into the 25 season. So, I think it's a bona fide, fantastic signing, and I think people got to respect it. It's a great move by Howie Roseman. You know what else is great? The Philly Shakedown podcast merchandise. If you guys haven't seen the Philly Shakedown podcast merch, go check out the champion shirt that we have. High-sprung polyester shirt, absolutely awesome. The main thing, t-shirt, comes in shirts, hoodies, and check out the rest of the store because we have a whole bunch of stuff, and we have new stuff coming out in the coming months, days, weeks. We have some things planned right now, so definitely go check that out. And anybody that's bought anything, we do appreciate it so much. Now, an extension did happen for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it looks like Lane Johnson gets the extension. I mean, I think the restructure was what 2.9 million, but the Eagles did better than that. Okay, they ended up extending Lane Johnson for another year going into 2027. So he is here for 25, 26, 27, 3 more years. Okay. Now, the Eagles did save some money from this. So they did save about $8 million the next 2 seasons. So we get 4 million this year and we get a little bit of a chunk, 4 million. And trust me, that cap space will add up. Chauncey Garner Johnson, 6 million, plus another 4 million from Lane Johnson, plus any other things they save money from. It's all going to add up in big chunks, especially when the cap number is going up. Okay. So Lane Johnson gets more guaranteed money up front, $48 million over the next 2 years, including $40 million guaranteed. I'm actually shocked that Lane Johnson actually, we figured he was going to retire in a couple years, but maybe he feels like he could do another 3. Lane Johnson is shoring up that right tackle spot the next few years, and he can stay healthy and all that. That's fantastic. That's great. So a big extension right there, which saves up some cap, and good for him, man. I'm very happy about that. And lastly, okay, now there's been some rumblings about the safety spot. There's been some little tiny nits and bits of news here and there, okay? Now we know that the safety spot seems to be glaring right now, that Sidney Brown will compete for this job, whoever is going to be added to that group. Now, I've said this a million times. Will they add a bridge safety, or will they go into this draft and go for the best? I think edge rushers and obviously DTs are going to go kind of early to from late teens to early 20s, and potentially safeties can be the Eagles could probably pick whoever they want at that point at 32, or if they have to move up a couple spots, whatever. Julian Blackman is listed as a fantastic fit to join the Philadelphia Eagles. 26 years old, recorded 62 sold tackles, 3 picks for the Colts last year. These are third-party rumors. These aren't promising. Take this with a grain of salt. I won't give you any type of rumors unless it's either my opinion or this is just something that's been floating out there a little bit. The Justin Simmons stuff hasn't really been floating too much news wise since he had his podcast, and a lot of safety news has been kind of sour when it comes to a bridge safety coming to Philadelphia, because if the Eagles end up getting a bridge safety, I don't know what they're going to do in this draft. I really don't. I mean, there's so many different combinations. They could go DT. The amount of edge rushers you have right now, they can go DT. And if they end up getting a bridge safety, then I don't know. It's a big question mark to me. It's much harder because you have the 32nd pick. That's why it's a lot harder to figure out what they're going to do. But it gives the Eagles plenty of combinations of what they can do, whether they stay at 32, they trade up, or if there's enough guys on the board, they can afford to move back, garnish more picks, and pick the guy that they, move back and still get the guy that they want, then that's fantastic as well. So these are just little types of little stupid rumors that are floating around a little bit. So I won't say that this is promising or holds any weight to it, but it's something to definitely look at because they were interested in Justin Reed. Justin Reed almost signed with the Eagles, and he ended up going to the Saints for more money. I know the Titans were involved as well. So, something to kind of look for later on. But guys, other than that, that's pretty much it. I am so happy, man. This just makes me want to see the young guys just go out there and I want to see the competition before our eyes. Edge rusher is going to be one of the most exciting positions that we're going to see, because you want to see some on top of what Nolan Smith did, and should have a big year next year. Jalix Hunt unfortunately didn't start till late in the season and really had to work himself up to what he became in the playoffs, realistically. I mean, Nolan Smith, like I said, 4 or 5 sacks in the playoffs. Jalix Hunt started to really come within himself, which is great. And now adding these other pieces to it, there's a lot of high reward here if it works out. And that's a big if, but I feel very good about it. because I know Fangio knows how to coach these guys. And Clint Hurt is, I got to say, one of the best defensive line coaches that we've had in a long time. And I thought he did a really good job with the defensive line last year. So I think sky's the limit for a lot of these guys. And remember, these edge rushers are going to have an entire offseason with their one team, okay? And Fangio let him do his work with these assistant coaches and get these guys on track and get these guys to playing up to the level they're supposed to be. And we're looking at these are some question mark type gifts from Howie Roseman to this roster that could really pan out really well. So let me know what you guys think about the signings, the extension to Lane Johnson, and what do you guys think about safety going forward? Do you still think they're going to go inside the market, or do you think there'll be some other things they're going to do, or do you think the draft is the number one spot for the safety spot, going forward? So hope you guys are happy. Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day, and make sure you hit the like button on this video because it helps out tremendously. You guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up. Fly all slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.